JLaw Fitness. So this video is the second part or follow-up to the triceps anatomy video. So we're going to kind of jump right into stuff here. Now remember we talked about the triceps, about it being, that you have a medial head, a lateral head, which kind of just control the extension, and then we have a long head. Now remember, the long head is what we're going to address first here, so that's why I want to go more in depth. So the long head is kind of this muscle that runs right down the back here, and then it kind of connects over into the shoulder blade or scapula, so it kind of makes it more of that two-joint muscle. So you really have to make sure that, again, with how we did with the long head of the biceps, that we're shortening and elongating it to really most effectively work it. So we're going to start off in a shortened position here first. So you get down on the incline bench here. Now, I know I generally use kind of 15-pound weights for all the stuff I do here, and it's more just to show you the technique and form. But with this exercise, you really want to go really light, because in this really shortened position, it's really, really difficult to make sure that you're maintaining good form if you don't have light weight. So usually the most weight I do on this is only about 20 pounds. So in this position, you want to really make sure that you're bringing your shoulders back, so you're really shortening at the shoulders, and then you're going to kick out and extend at the elbows too, and then control it back down, and then out, and control it back down, just like that. So that's more of the shortening position. And then now I want to show you a dumbbell version of the elongating position, and this is called the so this one here is the one that we call the space smash or the face pull, or a lot of different variations of that. But so what you're going to do here is you're going to get down in a lying position, and you want to make sure that you're kind of getting the weights back behind you, and you want to kind of start off in this position here because you're really elongating, and you're going to try coming up and then back down. Now with this one, you want to make sure you don't let your body come up off the bench. You want to try to keep your back flat against the bench, which is why I think this one's kind of hard for a lot of people. Plus you're getting weights over top of your head, and you're also putting, I think, a lot more strain on the elbows, in my opinion. So this is a good variation if you don't have pulleys, but if you have pulleys, I want to show you that one next. We're going to come over here to the pulleys because I think this one's a lot more effective. So with the pulley setup here, now obviously as you get heavier on weight here, you're going to have to make sure that you really kind of angle your body out so that way you can hold the weight, because it's going to want to pull you backwards. And this is with the tricep for the rope attachment. So you're getting your arms way back overhead here, and I'm kind of leaning forward because, like I said, if you kind of try to stand straight up, you're never going to get this weight off the ground. So you got to lean forward, and it's the same thing we just did, but you're pressing out here from the pulley instead. Now, with this exercise especially, being in that position, you have to really make sure that you're really getting that mind-muscle connection going, because there's a lot of compensation that can happen here. When I'm in this position, I can start trying to really roll my shoulders forward. I can start, really straining in my neck and my trap muscles too. So you have to make sure you're firing out and you're controlling with the triceps, that you don't get a lot of that extra movement as you're going through it. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you here, we're kind of getting away from just targeting the long head. So those first three that I showed you were more targeting, the long head of the triceps, doing shortening and elongating positions. Now with these ones, I'm going to show you just overall triceps, like kind of more of that heavying up the weight like we talked about, to really get more of that size and that girth to the triceps. This is working all three heads now. So the first one I want to show you is the triceps pull down. And with this one, you really want to make sure that you don't just stand straight up. I don't want just straight up with this one. I want to be angled out back a little bit like this, okay? And then from here, we're pulling straight down, and I usually like to get out a little bit. You know, kind of getting more in like that triangle position. And you're coming back up and then back down again. And like I said, you know, I know with the dumbbells too, I tend to use lighter weight just to show you form and technique. Same thing with this. This is only about 25 pounds, but you know, right now I'm upwards of 70, 75 pounds with this one. So, you know, heavy it up, you know, really pay attention to your form. And then also to, you know, just making sure that you're picking the right weight to maintain that good form, and you're not trying to, you know, lift out of the building, so to speak, like some people try to do. These next two are also going to be more about like really building strength, size, mass, because you're really heavying up weight with these. Now, this next one is going to be dips. With the dips here, I want you to try to really focus on keeping body more upright. If you start leaning forward too much, you start working more of your lower pec, which you want to try to avoid. We're trying to really focus on the triceps here. The same thing with this one. You know, it's difficult to do dips just in general. But as you get good at them, you can heavy them up by adding, you know, weighted vests. That's what I tend to do. But you can also get a belt attachment where you can hang weights down too, and you can do it with some weight plates that way as well. So with this one, trying to really focus on squeezing the triceps, trying to really control it down, and then pop back up. Control it down, and then pop back up. Now another variation that you can do with this too, if you don't have those weights to heavy it up, is you can hold it for a 2 count at the bottom there. And that's really going to put a lot more strain there because of having to do that pause. So that's a good variation as well if you don't have the weighted vest or you don't have the belt attachment, you don't feel safe doing either one of those things. This last one is going to be the tricep push, like the chest press tricep. Some people call it pin stop tricep. You know, it's another one really to build that size, that max size. Now with this one, you have to make sure that you're only coming down just so far that you're not letting your chest and your anterior delts really take over. So you're coming down so you're almost parallel to your side and then popping back up with it and really focusing on squeezing those tricep muscles so that you don't let those other muscles compensate for you. When you're gripping here, you want to grip anywhere between where your thumbs are actually touching and they're about, I'd say about 6 inches apart, so somewhere in that area. You're going to bring the bar up and you want to try to really make sure you're controlling it down until you're about parallel, and then you're driving back up with those triceps. Same thing with this one too. If you really want to make it a little bit more challenging without adding a lot of weight, hold it here for a 2 count and then back up. Okay? Okay guys, that's the exercises for the triceps. Some of my favorite ones in there, but the ones